that tune?
You know, I knew it earlier.
Water on Mars.
Oh, the name of the song.
Exactly,
Okay.
which is a perfect segue into what we're actually going to talk about. Because for a very long time there's been a lot of talk that there is in fact water on Mars, but now the Curiosity rover has actually made quite an interesting discovery that there is water there right now.
Yeah.
But it's water, but not as we know it.
Absolutely, and you know, just like you said, we've seen evidence, pretty clear evidence, that of course water existed in dry lake beds, dry river beds, sedimentary layers, things that certainly would indicate that water was there in abundance millions of years ago. And something I'm holding in my hand right here, you kind of take a look at the perspective here. This is what is known as a Moki marble, and this is found in southern Utah, what NASA calls
you got it from Mars.
Mars. Well, you know what? It has iron oxide, which is the same color that Mars comes from. This is precisely what. Absolutely. Take a look. So I can kind of show you some of the images because NASA.
Let it go.
If I look at some of the images that we have, NASA kind of went out to southern Utah and analyzed this. They looked at these. This is the Mars rover up there, and you see the tracks of the rover. What are Mars blueberries? Same ones they found there. And they looked at these. They looked at this particular image right here coming out of Utah, and they kind of put it in perspective that water processes are the only known way that we know water kind of gave it this spherical shape to these Mars blueberries. Now, what they've found in the new study here, and we kind of take a look at the perspective because the report coming out on Monday showing you the conditions across Mars, and we know moisture is prevalent there, and show you these images on the maps here and what we're talking about, what the study revealing, because the Martian sunset typically, the graphic is kind of looking like this. This is actually an image taken on the Mars rover looking at the sunset, kind of eerily similar to what you would see on the surface of the Earth. Some dust in the atmosphere in the desert landscape, some moisture in the atmosphere as well. The rover has found out that, and this particular rover has actually analyzed the humidity and also the air temperature for one full Martian year, equivalent to about 2 Earth years. And the observations there is that once the sun sets, the moisture content, which ranges from about 5% humidity in the summer months to up to 100% humidity in the autumn and winter months, that settles down towards the Martian soil. There is plenty of salt in the Martian soil, and that kind of extracts some of the moisture. It creates a liquid brine, and because of the high salt content, it is able to keep a liquid form. So now NASA is saying that there's currently a high potential for liquid brine at the surface of the Mars at this very moment, because the salt keeps the freezing temperature much lower so it doesn't freeze with the extreme conditions. Once the sun comes back up on the surface of Mars, that water evaporates once again. So that is a fascinating discovery. You kind of look at the rover there that is digs the core samples out of the surface of Mars, and also analyzes the air temperatures and the temperatures in the past 24 hours. The max temperature made it up to -5 Celsius, which is into the 20s Fahrenheit, cooled off to -78 Celsius, which is about 100 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. So very chilly, but the salt content and the particular type of salt is able to keep that liquid form and bring the freezing point much lower.
This is actually getting quite exciting.
It is.
The rover is actually sending back to Earth, and all this, because where there is water, there is life, and all that kind of stuff.
They're saying because the salt content is so high, one thing they're going to have to watch carefully is the structures for future settlements on Mars. It's a highly corrosive salt, so maybe it's something they'll have to look at carefully.
Good to know.
Thank you. Thanks.